Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry's Spare has had a stellar 2024. According to Spotify Wrapped New Zealand, Prince Harry's Spare tops the New Zealand audiobook charts for 2024. Spare is also the most streamed audiobook in Australia for 2024. And let's not forget, it was the number 4 most streamed audiobook in the UK. According to Calibre Audio, Spare was the most played by its members this year. Now, I have the hard copy, and of course, I listened to the audiobook. And if you haven't yet, I highly recommend. It's so good. There's something so special about hearing everything in Harry's words.
There was so much to say. We had so much in common, that we came from such different worlds. She was American, I was British. She was well educated, I was decidedly not. She was free as a bird, I was in a gilded cage. And yet none of these differences felt disqualifying or even important. On the contrary, they felt organic, energizing. The contradictions created a sense of, hey, I know you, but also, I need to know you. Hey, I've known you forever, but also, I've been searching for you forever. Hey, thank God you've arrived, but also, what took you so long?
The Invictus Games Foundation has officially announced the appointment of Rob Owen, OBE, as its new Chief Executive Officer. Rob will officially take over the reins at the end of February of 2025, following a few weeks of shadowing the outgoing CEO, Dominic Reid, in January. Dominic has done such a phenomenal job of being the CEO of the Invictus Games Foundation. Wish him well on this post-Invictus Games Foundation chapter of his life. Another person integral to the success of the Invictus Games, David Wiseman, recently enjoyed a trip in Abuja. According to Africa Unconquered Foundation, a very warm welcome to Show, and we are Invictus for visiting our training camp in Abuja this morning. Your support means a lot to us as we continue to train for Invictus Games 2025. This week, I've seen several articles talking about Meghan's 2024 style from the likes of Vanity Fair, People magazine, and several from the different Vogues from abroad. So that's been pretty interesting. I'm loving the conversations about the things that she's invested in and her divergence from the typical royal style. So if you're interested, feel free to check these articles out. Also, recently, Meghan's makeup artist shared a product that she used for her latest red carpet look. It's from Live Tinted. I know several of us talk about her glow. So if you're a makeup girly and you're interested, it is the Live Tinted Hue Glow Jumbo Liquid Highlighter Drops. And I may or may not have been influenced and purchased one for myself. Don't judge me. Meghan has not been the only member of the House of Sussex that's being discussed. This week, there was an article from the Daily Mail talking about Prince Harry's style evolution. This article says, Prince Harry now adores Dior and other high-end brands, but there was a time when he'd pick up an outfit for £200 at TK Maxx. And I know I'm not the only one who remembered one of the head people from TK Maxx coming out to publicly claim that Harry lied and he never shopped at TK Maxx or didn't shop sales at TK Maxx or some idiotic claim, as if we haven't seen the photos of Harry shopping at TK Maxx. But I digress. This week, there's been a slew of Harry and Meghan naysayers or career trolls who have been let go from their jobs. I don't exactly know what's going on over there, but yeah, it's interesting. Because I have seen several, and I do mean several clips of all three of these people saying some of the most disparaging and hateful things about Harry and Meghan on an almost daily basis with smiles on their faces. So, yeah, you reap what you sow. Also, I believe the little fellow with the glasses, Mark Dolan, well, formerly of GB News, has a little tit for tat going on with Dan Wootton. So, yeah, very, very messy. And while we're on the topic of Dan, rest in peace to this abuse victim who posted his final message after his run-in with Dan and all of the horrible things that preceded that. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but I just wanted to say rest in peace to Kevin Sutherland. This week there was an article from Hello Magazine where, oddly enough, a influencer, Lydia Millen, was visiting Highgrove House, and there were strategically placed photos of Harry and Meghan. The article says, when influencer Lydia Millen attended a special festive event there, she revealed that His Majesty has two very sentimental photos of his son, Prince Harry, on display. A photo of Harry and Meghan's wedding, and a photo of Harry and William and Charles. This is not the first time that we've seen strategically placed photos of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in the royal household. I believe there was something that Camilla had, and she had that photo of Harry and Meghan in the background. Well, something with Harry and Meghan. I don't know. How exhausting it must be to live in that sort of environment where, like, family photos and mementos and just about every word, every exchange is measured and calculated. Would that sort of lifestyle be something that any of you would want to live? A life of luxury, but essentially in this gilded cage? I couldn't do it, and I truly understand why Harry wanted out all those years. And while this photo display is definitely something I believe is calculated to sort of make Charles seem as the magnanimous and loving papa, let's not forget that Charles was the one responsible for stripping away the Sussex's security. Charles is the one responsible for stripping away the Frogmore cottage and the security that came with that. And Charles is the one who has consistently supported his brother. I mean, look at this this piece of art right here from Cold War Steve. This is it. Charles is essentially doing what Queen Elizabeth did with Andrew, cleaning up his messes.
Morning, friends. Drip, drip, drip. As is almost always the case with Andrew, the press released the damaging headline, and drip, 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 more damaging facts in the weeks and days afterwards. And this is certainly the case between Andrew and this alleged Chinese spy that Andrew was hanging around with for a decade. Because it turns out there's a few things that we didn't know originally, but now we do. Number one, Andrew promised this person, spy, intimate access to the inner workings of the royal family. And it appears that Andrew did give that to the guy in exchange for what we will never know, because that alleged Chinese spy is now threatening to dish the dirt. And the press know exactly what he's going to dish, because the press know more than we do. And the press are saying it's going to be worse than Andrew's connection to... Andrew never learns. Where has he taken this guy? What does this guy now understand? How loud, like a canary, is this guy gonna sing? Charles, I'm no fan of Charles, as you know, guys. But this guy, Andrew, must be driving Charles absolutely mad. Is this going to bring down the royal family in 2025? Is it going to force a reset, a re-evaluation of their cost versus benefit? High cost, low benefit. Comments are open, guys. Let me know what you think.
I don't think anything's going to change. Recently, there was an article from the Times talking about the king meeting with a Chinese financier who is deemed a security risk by NATO ally. Charles explored making a deal with Kenny Song, a Beijing-based businessman with links to state-owned companies. And there's no wonder that Charles sort of turns a blind eye or offers support for Andrew in the way that he does, because often enough, when you really dig into what Charles is up to behind the scenes, it's kind of similar to what Andrew does. It's just that the stain of Andrew's relationship with his former friend, who's no longer with us, has sort of cast a very bright spotlight onto all things that Andrew does. But essentially, Charles does a lot of the same things. He has very questionable relationships with very problematic people, have taken money that is allegedly to go to charity from very problematic people. And there's a long list of that. The problem is, for every one article that talks about those things, there's 20, 30 articles or anti-Harry and Meghan articles to drown out any of the noise that surrounds these shady dealings. And Charles and Andrew isn't the only person who's being talked about this week for dodgy relationships. Princess Anne's daughter Zara, and I believe Fergie as well, has been called out, exposed for having some relationships with problematic people. For Fergie, this is nothing new, but apparently Fergie and Zara were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars by Hong Kong tycoon with link to China's Shady foreign influence network. Zara and Fergie, Charles and Andy. There you have it. Birds of a feather. Isn't it funny that there's more of a fabricated outrage over Harry and Meghan saying happy holidays on a holiday card than all of this that's been revealed? The visible-invisible contract. The more I learn of this family and the way that they operate, the more it becomes clear that Meghan didn't stand a chance. In that environment, you got to become a part of the swamp, or you're not going to make it at all.
Do you know what bugs me the most about Meghan Markle?
Yep. We do. See.
Spies, money launderers, dictators, criminals. No, it's not the latest script for a James Bond film. This is a lineup of the people that we know about, and believe me, there's probably more lurking in the woodwork, that make up Andrew's closest friends. And it's really, really concerning as a tax-paying member of the UK, to see this published. The press have absolutely been given an instruction from Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace that Andrew is fair game, because this article is completely damning. And why shouldn't it be, to be honest? Because all the press are doing here is printing the known and published facts. It's taken them years to realise, but I think the palaces have now realised that Andrew is their only viable scapegoat.
So about Andrew, this is about him riding a horse. He's friends with a man accused of being a Chinese spy. I want to say this is shocking, but it's not. We'd really like it if you treat it that way. Yeah, I don't think I can. We're having trouble with it too. How good a friend are we talking here? He was invited to at least one of Andrew's birthday parties and multiple events at multiple palaces. He was described as the top of the tree of close confidence to Prince Andrew, and then there's the money. It would be shocking if there wasn't, but how much money are we talking? Let's just say it's enough to keep the house. Andrew didn't do anything. He's just a poor little prince who's caught up in something that he didn't know anything about. This is a perpetration by the... Why are we not focusing on that? Because this is more interesting. We think it's pretty serious. Oh my god, you guys, he cut off contact. When? Yeah, when? By the way, who are you? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter. Oh, you're the palace. No. So is your defense that Andrew's dumb, or that the people around him can't vet people? Are you gonna jump in here? We'd like to know what helped people get in and out of the house unnoticed means. Where did you get that? It's in a letter from Andrew's senior advisor to this man. And while we're on it, can you clarify what hopes it makes clear to you where you sit with the principal and indeed his family means? Yeah, that means Charles met the spy. So far this year, we've had secret illnesses, a prince who won't share his taxes, the revelation that duchies are a huge cash grab amassing millions and billions of dollars, and now a prince who is an asset for a foreign government. How is that monarchy working out for you? Not gonna lie, it's been a rough year.
The problem comes in when you have people who will dismissively look at this headline, and yes, granted, it is from a tabloid entertainment paper. Yes, no question, no argument there. But to dismiss this as, okay, Carol, nobody reads these papers, nobody pays any attention to this, it's all just entertainment, nobody takes it seriously. To be dismissive of it in that regard sets you up for a fall. What do I mean by that? It paints a picture in your head that just because you are intelligent enough to recognize this is all fodder, this is just, BS, it makes you think other people view it that way. Unfortunately, they do not. Also, with the internet, which we all know, information is not contained. Information is no longer just printed in this newspaper or in this article that you can hold, this tangible magazine. It is now everywhere. So to be dismissive of these, yes, entertainment, fake news, tabloid papers, places you in a situation where you become the ignorant party. I want you to look at the headline here. This is a prime example of revenge journalism. Anytime you have a media who is letting you know, and when you look at the date, this was from 2020. It was from January of 2020. Now, we know what happened in January of 2020. Meghan and Harry took it on the run, right? Make no mistake, it's an insult. Fleet Street's jury says Meghan and Harry can expect no mercy after their stunning decision to go rogue and quit. I want you to understand what I just read. A published entertainment tabloid newspaper, magazine, online, has made the statement they are going to go after this couple for their decision to go rogue and quit. That's what these folks said in January of 2020. We're going to go after you with everything we have. Now, let's not be collectively stupid. They also understood this made them money. So there's always that. Don't forget that part. But this is an organization telling you we are going to go after them and they can expect no mercy. We are going to be relentless in attacking these people. If they can do it unchecked to Harry and Meghan, they can do it to you. They can do it to me. And I hear you say, well, Carol, we're not famous. Who the hell cares about you or I? I got you. Go look up Shay Moss. Just Google her name.
Wait! What is the tea? The girls are fighting! No!
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.